It's currently Escape the Readathon month, which is a competitive team-based readathon that I host all of May. I have tons of wonderful co-hosts with me, both being team leaders and game masters to keep people from escaping. So I asked the team leaders to recommend me books based on specific tropes that I like. I have 8 team leaders and 7 books to be reading because 2 of them happen to recommend the same book to me. So the things that I told them that I like and will be showing up in all of these books are isolation, fast-paced, games or trials, weird, psychological, revenge, experiments, sense of dread, sarcastic characters, romance forward in romantasy and contemporary romance, genre blends, unexplained/ambiguous endings, a bigger cast of characters specifically in romance and romantasy, dark, and then anything with romance having banter. I said any genre was fine, any book length was fine, and that they didn't have to love the book, just think that I would really like it. So I have 7 books that I'm going to be reading because of Alexis Fully Booked, Tori Between Pages, Once Upon a Bookish Steph, Melanor Reads, Reading with Jess, Sorry Booked Solid, Books and Heather, and Covers with Cassidy. I have a wide range of genres, book lengths. I have some in this list that I have DNF'd previously. I have some in this list that I said I would never read. I have some previous 2-star authors, some previous 4.5-star authors, new to me authors. So truly a very exciting mix. I'm hoping to love everything. Last year I did this video with my Escape the Readathon co-hosts and ended up with a favorite book of the year, so fingers crossed that happens again. All of the team leaders for Escape the Readathon will be linked in the description, so make sure you check out their channels. Let's get into the vlog. Very excited for these books. I decided to start with my pick from Alexis because she picked one of the horror books on this list. The first thing I will be reading is Guillotine by Delilah S. Dawson. This year I read Bloom and I really enjoyed it. I give it 4.5 stars. So I was super stoked to see this as a recommendation. The front says Fast, Fun, and Frightening Glass Onion meets Saw. Excuse me? So I have started this and I have made it 66 pages in. I didn't read the synopsis. I don't know what the synopsis tells you, so seeing Glass Onion meets Saw has me so intrigued. In this we are following Des, and she is just about to graduate college and she decides she's going to do anything she can to make her future as a fashion designer, something to do with fashion. She decides to start dating Patrick so that she can get close to his mom because she is the editor-in-chief at the only true fashion magazine that is thriving. So she does not like him. He's rich, arrogant, believes that it's all about him. He's the most important thing. What he wants is what should happen. And that's how he's been raised. But she's like, I don't care. I will put up with anything so that I can give myself a fighting chance because I deserve this just as much as someone that has money. And she's not able to get a lot of opportunities because of her lack of funds. So she is kind of dating him and convinces him to take her on his family trip. They have this island that they just call the island that they go to for certain vacations. And he's like, yeah, you can come, but you have to sign an NDA. And she's like, yeah, whatever. So she goes, and it's this very intense NDA. Everybody's really weird. Nobody's allowed to wear pink other than the staff, which is very odd. And everybody's really standoffish. Nobody really wants to talk to her or get to know her. And if she does anything that is not in line with what the NDA says she's supposed to do, people are like upset about it. So it's very serious. And there's just weird vibes with the staff. Like they're not allowed to talk to people and really strange things. So far, I'm really into this. I like this kind of plot. This setup is one that I enjoy. I love seeing rich people get what they deserve and just seeing how weird and creepy they are. So 66 pages in, completely invested. I don't think that there's anything that's really standing out as why this is working for me, but I'm flying through this, super excited to get to more. I do plan on finishing this today. It's super short anyway, and I'm also really invested, so I just want to keep reading. Oh my god. I have been on sprints. I'm still on sprints on Heather's channel for the readathon. I have been working on my diamond painting. I'm finally in the little skull part inside of it. I'm obsessed with this. It's so good. It is entertaining and fast-paced and has a lot of important things to say about how rich people treat people, and it's entertaining, it's gory. I'm actually having the best time with this. I didn't know what to expect going into this. It's such a different vibe from Bloom. If you've read Bloom, do not expect that kind of situation going into this. It's not the same. It's not the same. I wouldn't have guessed that this was the same author if you had asked me, like, from reading both of them. But this, oh my god, it's so fun. I like our main character. I like how she's willing to do whatever she needs to do to get what she wants. And just the ways that that applies in this book, everything about this, I'm loving. I'm having the best time. This could be 5 stars. It could be 5 stars. And I said that about Bloom, and it ended up being 4.5 because there was like a little bit of a lull in the story for me. But that's not happening for this. I am obsessed with this. Like, I really, really love it. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. I have had a 5-star drought, really. I've given 3 books 5 stars. One was last week, so very recently. One was in February, and then the other one was in whenever Sunrise on the Reaping came out. So I need some good books, and this is delivering. I'm excited. This is incredible. I can't wait to finish this. I have been like jaw on the floor, shocked about some of the things that are happening in here. Okay. Yep. Guess what? 5 stars. 5 stars, absolutely. I love this kind of book. I love fast-paced, gory books that also have something to say. This one was a lot of fun. I loved our main character. I loved the plot. I loved everything that happened. I love the commentary. Incredible. Incredible. One of my favorite books of the year. This is my 4th 5-star. I have had one 2.5, because I DNF'd a book, 2.5 books ago, so like maybe I am now in 5-star territory since I've had so long without them. Oh my god. I truly love this. I need to get a copy for myself immediately. I liked this more than Bloom. I gave that one 4.5 stars. I still really, really liked it. It's another one of my favorites of the year. They're so different. If you liked Bloom for the lyrical, beautiful writing and the like kind of slow moving exploration of things, this feels like the very end of Bloom that is like the fast-paced, high-tension stuff that happens like at the last little part of it. So definitely don't go into it expecting the same thing. Very different vibes. And I'm obsessed with it. I love it. I love it. I actually didn't read the synopsis. You know, I'm not going to tell you what the synopsis says because I feel like not knowing what is going to come is a very fun time. Alexis technically did give me 2 options, but I'm not really interested in reading The Ruins. This one, out of the ones that I was like looking for things, isolation, fast-paced, games, revenge, bigger cast of characters, and dark. Yep, all of these. I love everything about this. I'm very, very, very happy. Oh, we start off with a win. I needed this. I really, really needed this. We're gonna switch gears and go with Tori's pick, Indigo Ridge. This is a romantic suspense. I have started it as well. So let me tell you about that in a second. Okay, I wanted to move you for better lighting because I was looking a little yellow. Indigo Ridge is one that I was aware of, but not really anything on my radar, not something I would have picked up. I haven't really heard anybody talking about it other than like I know that people like it. When did this come out? Oh, 2024? There's 2 more in the series at least. I don't know. But I am 120 pages in. I'm having such a good time with this one as well, which I thought that I would generally like it, but I'm liking it way more than I thought I was going to. So in this, we are following Winslow, and she is a new chief of police at this town. So she is moving to Quincy, Montana, where her father grew up, and she had spent some time there, but she has not lived there for a long time. She's coming into this community, and she's young for a chief of police. People think that she got the job just because of her grandfather, and people don't like really treat her the best. They treat her like an outsider, and they make it very clear to her that she is an outsider and that they think that of her. Her grandfather is the mayor, so very important, and that's why people kind of act like she didn't actually earn the job and she was just handed it, so she's trying to prove herself. And then we are also following Griffin, and at the very beginning we see Win, and she's at a bar, and this guy walks in, and she asks if he lives in the town because she made it a rule to not fraternize with the townspeople since she's going to be the chief of police. And he tells her no, so she's like, cool. So they get it on, and they're both like insanely attracted to each other. Turns out he just like doesn't live in the town because he lives on this ranch. But he's very much part of the town and part of the like biggest family in the town. They own a lot of stuff. They're wealthy. So he lives like out of town on their ranch. So not within her jurisdiction, but that wasn't really what she was asking. And then somebody is found dead on her property, and it's like the 7th one that has happened in 7 years. So she's like, that's suspicious. And they're like, no, it's all suicides. And she's like, I don't know. So she starts looking into it, and everyone's like, why are you doing this? But she's doing it anyway. And then he starts to like follow her around and like help her get to know the townspeople a little bit. It says he's insufferable, arrogant, and keeps reminding everyone that she's an outsider. And then he very quickly realizes that she does know what she's doing. She cares about things. She wants to be a part of this town. He likes her, and it's fun to watch. There's a lot of tension between them because they really shouldn't be together, but they have this very extreme attraction to each other. So I'm enjoying that. The plot with her like trying to do this investigating, like it's all really working for me, and I feel like I don't quite know why, because it's not anything like that engaging with the thriller mystery part of this, but there's something about it that I'm really enjoying. So I'm having a fun time, really enjoying it. I'm surprised but I'm very happy. This is truly a really fun time, and I'm appreciating that. I kind of blend into the background. Yeah, cool. Looks great. Good job, Lexi. I'm 240 pages into Indigo Ridge. I kind of just laid in bed and listened to the audiobook and played games on my phone for a very long time and didn't really realize how far I had gotten into the book. I'm having a really good time with this one. It's not an absolute favorite for me, but it's one that is keeping my attention the whole time. I'm enjoying having both this romance and this mystery element in it. There's just something about the way that the story is told that is very compelling for me, even though the story itself isn't anything new or groundbreaking. But I do also enjoy stories like this. My main thing with thrillers is that I don't love as much of the domestic stuff, just like watching them not like each other and stuff like that, unless it's done in a way that's kind of different than just watching them fight. Like if they're going against each other secretly, I love that. But this one is just fun. It's an easy read. I had to stop myself or I would have finished it last night, and I would not have gone to bed at a decent time. But it's really fun to have both this romance and this mystery element in it. I'm really enjoying that. I like them as a couple. I like how they were trying to fight their attraction towards each other. They gave up without realizing it at first, and then they finally accepted it, and they're like, yeah, okay, well, it is what it is. And he is really, really into her, which is one of my favorite things. I looked it up, and this is like the typical rom-com kind of series where each book in the series follows a different couple. So I'm interested to see how their story wraps up, because I feel like I'm not getting quite as much of their relationship as I would want in a one-book story, but at the same time, I'm not bothered by it either. I think this is probably going to be 4 stars. It's a fun time. It's an easy read. I'm not having really any issues with it, except when I step back and I'm like, okay, well, maybe I would like it a little more if it was this. But in the moment, I'm not doing that. I'm enjoying it. I'm having a lot of fun. I'm really liking this author's writing too, which is really good because I just got Shield of Sparrows, which is their new romantasy book. So I'm hoping I really enjoyed that one as well. But you know, at this point, I might even continue in the series. I don't think it'll be a top priority for me, but I'm down to read it. They're really quick, easy, and fun.
New angle, so I can cuddle with my cat while I talk to you. I'm surprised he's not running away. I have finished... Sorry, this is so funny. I finished Indigo Ridge. I'm gonna give it 4 stars. Oh, you want to see it too? I thought it was a lot of fun. I don't think that either of the storylines with the romance or the mystery were really that unique on their own. but something about the way that it was done and woven together and the writing just really worked for me. I had a fun time. I would recommend it, with the caveat that I don't think that like either part of it is truly incredible, but the mix worked really well for me. I read it so quick. It was fun. It was entertaining. I did like the characters, and I would not have picked this up without this video, so I'm very happy. I'll probably read more in this series. It's pretty much like all romance series that I'm like, well, I'll get to it eventually, but I'm not like dying to read it. But I'm happy. I don't remember what these fit for. So for this one, I would say is pretty fast paced. So cute. Romance forward, genre blend. There's a pretty big cast of characters because it's going to continue. So I think this was a good rec. Very happy. I'm going to go because I'm not actually laying on him and my neck is getting tired. But this video going amazing, and I'm excited for the next one.
I did not give you an update on logging these 2 books. So I'm still reading for the podcasters and against the hackers. So this was logged for the podcasters for getting into a game, and it was logged against the hackers for the same thing but different rooms. And then when I finished Indigo Ridge, the hackers were in a game, so it was logged against their game because it counted for one of their many prompts. And the podcasters also got into the game and it counted for that. So next up, because of Steph, I am reading The Girl Next Door. I am 100 pages in. I'm so sorry, but I'm going to DNF this one. This is not a surprise to me. This is the book that I said that I was not ever planning on picking up, like actively not planning on reading it. And I was like, you know, I'll just give it a go. The thing is, I don't like books that are not like more recently published because I don't tend to like the writing style. I don't like the language choices. I don't like the way things are talked about, especially in horror books. And I know people get annoyed every time I say this, but what am I supposed to do about it? I still try things, obviously. If I do like something, I'm not gonna say I dislike it just because it's old. And the point of this is to be horrific. Everything is supposed to make you feel gross and uncomfortable and angry. And I don't like feeling like that. I like to feel frustrated because of the situation, not frustrated because of the choice with the language and the way that women are talked about and just like behaviors that used to be acceptable for male versus female. And it makes me really angry, and it's not something that I want to be reading. If I want to be angry, I'll just get on Instagram. So this is just not the kind of book for me. It's truly not. Pretty much every single thing that I have read that is older, which tends to be horror options, I feel the same way about. And I gave it a fair shot. I wanted to quit way earlier than 100 pages in, but I can't do it. I can't. And I know the stuff like this one and I feel really bad about it, but it's really just a personal preference. I know this one is very heavily inspired by a true crime case as well. And I know this one gets like really disturbing, but I think it does like more fade to black scenes with a lot of the horrific things that happen. So like I can appreciate that, but yeah, the language choices for this with the time it was written, I can't do it. I can't do it. I want to feel strong emotions, but not hatred towards the writing. That being said, Steph and I do have very, very similar taste in a lot of other horror books, so that works well because I have somebody that I can get some recommendations from, but maybe just not older books. For this one, Steph just put it as dark. Yeah, the stuff that I read so far definitely is that. It's just not for me, but I gave it a go, so I'm so sorry. Yesterday was the whole library pages logging fiasco. You might see that again at some unknown point. So I will be logging my pages for the podcasters and against the hackers. There are quite a few teams that have decided they want to see what the concierge desk holds, so I will be logging my pages there. Since I had such a wide variety of genres for recommendations, I'm trying to kind of keep things mixed up the whole time. So next I will be reading Servant of Earth. This was picked because of Mel. It's romantasy with trials, which is something that if you say, I'll probably pick up any romantasy. So it's not too long. Okay, it's like 440-ish pages. The audiobook is a bit longer than I would expect with something that seems to be not quite as long. But it says 6 deadly trials, 0 room for error. And it is the Shards of Magic series. It's Faye, and we're following a human main character. I am going to work on my diamond painting again while my hair dries and get into this one. I've started it a little bit, but I want to get a little bit further in before I check in. But so far, I'm kind of bored. I have been working on my diamond painting. It's the one that I showed in the last video, the one before the big skull one, but I have things on top of it that I don't want to move. But I've been listening to the audiobook of Servant of Earth whenever I'm working on this, and I've made it 159 pages in. I'm bored. I don't love this and I'm kind of upset about it. So in this we are following Kenna, and she is a human, and in the world she lives in, Fae are real and people are very aware of Fae. And they have this, I don't know what it's called, this thing that happens where there are multiple people, I think women, that are chosen to go to the Fae world to serve them. But they have to like cross this bog, and a lot of them don't make it. So our main character's best friend is chosen. So I do appreciate that it wasn't our main character that was originally supposed to be doing this. But she goes and is trying to help her because she wants her to survive and get across this path. And earlier that day she found this knife in the bog because she doesn't have a lot of money and she like scrounges for things to try to sell. And she found this knife and she's like, oh, I'm going to get a lot of money for this. And the knife kind of like has this magic in it that leads her across the bog. She makes it across, but things don't really go well for a lot of the other people. So she finds herself now as a servant to one of the Fae princesses who is about to become the ruler of this realm. I think that's the term. And there's this competition that happens every 6 years where people that are about to take power, I guess, have to compete in these 6 trials. There's 6 elements of magic and houses, and there's 2, I believe, from each place competing. Earth, fire, light, void, illusion, and blood is the 6th one. And she is tasked with helping her mistress survive all of these trials. If she survives, she gains immortality and becomes heir to the Earth House. If she doesn't, she is dead, and also our main character dies as well. So she's just kind of trying to survive. She has this dagger that is like there with her and kind of helps her in certain situations. So where I am right now, 1 trial has happened, and like it was boring. It was just some stumbling around. I don't want to tell you the specifics of it and like what house element that it went with, but it was pretty boring. I didn't really feel the tension, and everything leading up to that has just been so boring. She's just learning how to be a part of this new society that she is not really aware of. She doesn't know a lot of details about it. Things that she learned growing up are different than what they are for real. So that's where I am right now. There's a little bit more that's mentioned in the back. There is no romance in this as of this point. There's a person that like, it's pretty clear that that's who it's going to be. She meets him early on and then encounters him every once in a while, but that is not exciting enough for me to be really enjoying this. I'm not hating it because I don't really feel like I should DNF. It's just okay, which I'm kind of bummed about because like I own this. I've had this. There's been some very gory moments in here which I personally appreciated. The display of power that's happening is very clear that like he's not a good guy and that something might come of that. I'm going to keep sitting here listening to this, working on my diamond painting. Adam and I are leaving to go see Sinners at 6. I probably won't get through another third or so of this before then, so I'll check in later and I'll let you know how I like the movie. There's been no movement on my teams. They're busy. They're busy. I'm busy keeping the hackers where they are, but there's some harder games and easier games, and the harder ones will take longer, so we haven't had a lot of movement with that for the podcasters, but that's okay. This book is fine. It's like good enough for sitting here and existing and reading a book, but it's not a favorite for me. Kind of in the same spot, but it's a different day, wearing the same shirt because I barely wore this yesterday. Sinners was really good. I love a good vampire story. Ugh, facing the window with glasses is not what I want. I really enjoyed it. There were a lot more people there. Usually we try to go to afternoon showings because Adam gets off work pretty early, but we had to wait because we've had Wi-Fi issues and was getting a new modem delivered, and it was raining, so we had to wait for that. So there were a lot more people, and like people were talking, and I'm like, please stop so I can pay attention. But the movie itself was really good. I think the acting was good. There's a lot of creepy, like subtly creepy moments, and then like outright creepy moments. I thought it was very fun. I thought it was done very well too. I think it was a really good movie. So I would recommend it. And I am 300 pages into Servant of Earth. I'm liking it more. I like that our main character is not the one technically doing these trials. Like, she is not the person going through it herself, and she's helping somebody. I feel like that adds a different element to it. I'm enjoying seeing the beginnings of her friendship with the person that she's helping. They have some moments that I'm like, be friends, be friends. So invested like in certain aspects, but I also feel like it's just a little boring for me. It's okay. I'm not hating my time with it. I think it'll be 3 stars, which is a little upsetting because I thought I would like this more. It's just weird because I'm both invested and not at the same time. I don't know how that exactly works, but that is the truth. There are elements I'm liking and a lot that I am bored of. I think that the trials are getting more interesting. So at this point, we've gone through 3 of them, 4 of them. I don't even know anymore. I just feel like I don't really care about any of the characters the way that I'm supposed to. And I want a little bit more of the romance. There's been some like tension and things like that, but nothing really that's standing out to me. So I'm a little bummed, but it's not bad. I need to do some things around the house. Today is laundry day because I've been putting it off and I don't have a lot left. I'm on sprints on Deja's channel right now, which have been really fun, but they're almost over. So I might switch to Patreon sprints so that I have people keeping me accountable, because I feel like it's one of those days. This is going better than the last book, but not how I wanted it to. So I'm a little bit disappointed, but that's also on me. Glasses are so annoying when there are windows. I have finished. It's actually been a couple days because I have been very busy. There was a book festival that I went to this past weekend. Monica came down to my house. She lives about 2 hours away from me, and we went to the book festival all day Saturday. It was so bad. Not bad, but like the fact that when I got home, it was like 8 o'clock and I'm like, I think I have to go to bed soon. It was bad. Monica sent me to bed because I couldn't find my phone. It was in my pocket, and I only found out because I threw my hands down in exasperation. Is that the word? Something like that. Because I was like, I can't find it, and then I was like, oh, haha, it's in my pocket, and she's like, go to bed. A long day, and then she left the next morning, and then an hour later my sister and my nephew were here, and he's 3 and has so much energy, and I love him to death, and I love my sister, but I am tired. They left this morning and I'm like, I can't do anything. So yeah, I feel like I've had no recovery time, no real rest. I pretty much work every day between YouTube and Patreon and the readathon, especially this month, but usually I try to have more like resting days, so I have not had that. I am going to give Servant of Earth 3 stars. I ended up liking it more as we went, but having finished this 2.5 days ago, I don't really remember much. I liked that this was the trials kind of from a slight outsider perspective on it. We weren't following somebody truly competing in the trials. I think that I will probably not continue in the series unless somebody reads it and thinks that like I will be obsessed with it for any specific reason. I never cared about the little bit of romance in here. The thing is, I do tend to prefer romantasy that is romance forward, or I don't know, something else happening. For me, the trials in this weren't that fun, and I didn't really care about any of the characters. I did like seeing the friendship that formed between Kenna and, what is the person's name? My brain is saying Lara. Close. So close. So I liked seeing that, but there really just wasn't enough in this for me to be invested, but I did enjoy it more as we went. So 3 stars feels right. I'm glad that I read this. I owned it, and I really needed a push to continue it, but I don't know. It was okay, but not a favorite for me, which I am a little upset about. I thought I would like this one more than I did, but it's okay. Another one down. So next up, we are moving on to our pick from Jessie. Oh, I forgot to tell you what Servant of Earth was picked for. Okay, fast-paced games, weird, revenge, sarcastic characters, and dark. I don't know if I would say this is weird, but my weird tolerance is a lot higher. Definitely fast-paced games, revenge. I don't feel like I got enough of the sarcastic characters for my personal preference, but still a very good recommendation. I bought it because I was interested in it. So next we are moving on to Jessie's pick. Poor Jessie initially gave me 2 books, and I was like, I'm so sorry, but I've read both of those. And those were The Overnight Guest and The House in the Pines. And I messaged her and I was like, so do you have anything else? And she messaged me again, and she sent like 5 books. I don't remember what all of them are, and I currently don't have Instagram on my phone, so I don't feel like looking. But I had read some of them. That's the problem with doing a lot of these things, is I have read so many books. I read a lot more than a lot of people, so it is common for people to not have a lot of books to recommend me. So then there were 2 options that I could go with. One of them is a book I've previously DNF'd, and another book is by one of my least favorite authors. Like, I've given this author 1 star twice. Probably one of my least favorite books is by this author. I've DNF'd from this author, so I was like, oh, I'm not gonna read that. And I decided that I'm gonna try the DNF again because it wasn't one that I had any issues with. I was just like, do I care that much? No, I'm gonna read something else. So I will be reading The Hitchcock Hotel by Stephanie Roble. It's just so funny that this is what I'm reading. We'll be doing this today. I'm hoping to get a big chunk of it read. So I have started it, and it is separated into acts. So I am going to check in when we are probably at Act 2, because that looks to be roughly a third in. Okay, there's 3 acts total, so that works really well. I didn't make it to Act 2 the first time, so I'm going to get to Act 2. Then I will talk to you. Hopefully I have more positive feelings about it this time, but I'm not mad that I'm reading this again either. And with a lot of DNFs, I would be like, no, absolutely not. I have a couple updates for you. 1, I have gotten to Act 2 of The Hitchcock Hotel. 2, I have some books to unbox. This one I believe is a pre-order. 1 in 4 by Lucinda Berry. This is following a psychiatrist who has agreed to do a reality TV show. Sounds absolutely incredible. And then the other one is from my wish list. My birthday is actually tomorrow, so that's very nice. I'm assuming it was for that. And it is a copy of Maggots Screaming by Max Booth III. This is such a fun one. I have read it and am so excited to have a copy for my shelves. This guy and the son find 3 impossible corpses buried in their backyard. It's fun. It's really weird. And there's lots of bug stuff. I don't think this says who it is from. There's a note. I think I know who it is based on the message, but but I don't want to assume. So thank you so much to whoever sent me this. Very excited to have a copy of this on my shelves. So I have also made it to Act 2 in the Hitchcock Hotel. So in this we are following a reunion of sorts of a group of friends who went to college together, and there is something that happened in their past. And this guy, Alfred, who was named after Hitchcock, his mom loved him and his movies. He has opened this hotel that is dedicated to memorabilia and kind of replicas of Hitchcock movies. So there's certain props that he has bought, certain rooms that he set up to kind of be like places in movies. And he very clearly has some sort of thing planned for the weekend because these people were his like main group of friends, but he was the outsider and something happened that involved him. And I think he kind of blames them for it. There's round-the-clock film screenings, movie props, memorabilia, an aviary with 50 crows. So it's the first anniversary of his hotel, and to celebrate, he has invited these friends. They were all part of a film club together, so it was something within that. We have gotten kind of the lead up to what has happened. We're getting some flashbacks learning about everything, but it's mostly set in the past. It seems kind of obvious what is happening at this point. And this is not a cast of characters that has really anybody that's likable. Alfred himself is just like, he's weird. He's strange. He's very clearly up to something. And then all of the other characters just kind of exist, in my opinion, which I think is really my main issue with why I didn't love this the first time, because nothing up to this point has truly happened other than like little inklings of weird things maybe going on, and the characters weren't enough to carry it. I am going to continue with it because I know that people do really like this one. So I'm not obsessed, but I'm not hating it. Feeling kind of average, which is kind of what I expected, but it could go up from here. Not the most exciting background, but I am in my bed because I ate way too many mashed potatoes. I have been thinking about them for so long, and then there was this whole thing in my Discord where people don't like mashed potatoes, and it made me want to eat them more, so I finally bought potatoes and made them, and I ate so much. I don't really know what the correct term is. I love mashed potatoes and gravy. If you're not aware, my Patreon is potato themed. So anyway, while I was doing that, when I was making the delicious mashed potatoes, I got to Act 3 of the Hitchcock Hotel. It's still fine. I completely understand why this was recommended to me. I tend to like the stuck in an isolated setting, things start to go wrong, and people are trapped and can't leave situation, but for some reason, I'm not loving this one. I'm not hating it. Really, it's just a book that I'm reading. It was very easy to listen to the audiobook while I was cooking dinner. I think part of it is because I don't care about Hitchcock. I have seen maybe one of his movies, and I think that this does spoil some of them, which does not really bother me. But I don't have a connection to the setting because of that, or the way that things are happening because of that. Like, really, Psycho is the only one that I am familiar with, and it's just fine. I don't think the characters are interesting enough to carry the story for me, but really, it's a good recommendation. I'm gonna lay here and read this weekend. Truly, like, I feel like I'm half functioning today, but I definitely have the brain power to lounge around and read. I'm in my bed way earlier than normal, and I'm like really looking forward to laying here and just kind of existing, being in my own space, it being quiet other than noise that I am choosing. I sound like such an old person, but I like my peace and quiet, and I haven't had that, and I'm so excited to just read. I don't have much to say, so you're gonna get a very close up dark clip of me in my bed. I finished the Hitchcock Hotel. I'm gonna give this one 2.5 stars, which to me is a book that like is okay, but I didn't really like it. Like, there's nothing really wrong with it. I didn't really care about any of the characters at any single point, and I also really don't like a villain monologue at the end. I don't like being in the perspectives of whoever or in third person, and then at the end finding out all the details and why every single thing happened from the villain's perspective. I don't like it. I feel like it feels too
convenient for me. I would rather find things out slowly and be engaged in the story instead of just like watching things and not really being part of anything and then finding out at the end why everything was happening. So, not a bad recommendation. Oh god. If it's isolation, kind of fast-paced, revenge. Oh no, I'm really dark. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't really love this. It's not a bad pick. I think it's one that makes sense with a lot of other things that I have liked, but the way that the story is told and set up and the characters, I didn't really love. I think if I had a connection to Hitchcock, I would have liked it more, but it's fine. It's fine. So I am going to start my next book because it's still like 9:45. We are moving on to my previous 2-star author, which is also previous 4-star author, and 2 of the team leaders picked this for me, both Heather and Jordan, which is really funny because last year Jordan also recommended me a book that someone else did whenever I did this video, so I had a book that 2 co-hosts had recommended. So I'll be reading The Last Murder at the End of the World. I really, really, really did not like The Devil in the Dark Water. If I read it now, I'd probably give it closer to a 1-star because I utilize all of the ratings more. And then I enjoyed the other one, 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle. Give that one 4 stars. Thought it was very interesting. So, oh, there's a map. I'm a little scared for this one, but I think it could go very well. So we'll see. Hello, it's me. Who else would it be? But I am stressed because I have made it to about 100 pages into The Last Murder at the End of the World. Oh, Jordan's never gonna recommend me books ever again because the last one she recommended in this video last year I also DNF'd. Yeah, I'm not reading this one anymore. Both Jordan and Heather recommended this to me. Where is my phone? I completely understand why it was picked. I get it. I truly do, but I don't like the writing style. So in this, we are following this lead up to this last murder at the very end of the world. I don't exactly know how to explain it because we are following this like really weird person that's kind of this like omniscient, is that the word? Omnipresent. This like pretty much somebody that can see everything. And I don't know how to explain it. The world was destroyed by a fog that swept the planet, killing anyone it touched. And then there's 122 villagers and 3 scientists on this island living peacefully. And they do what they're told by the scientists. The scientists are pretty much their rulers. They're not allowed to question anything. And weird things happen with that. And then one of the scientists is found brutally stabbed to death. And they learn that the murder has triggered a lowering of the security system around the island, which is the only thing that has kept the fog away from them. And then if the murder isn't solved within 107 hours, the fog will smother the island and everyone on it. So there's this countdown, there's this survival aspect, there's some weird things going on with the scientists, so there's some experiments within that. The security system has also wiped everyone's memories of exactly what happened the night before, which means that someone on the island is a murderer, and they don't even know it. Truly, that sounds like everything I would want. Both Heather and Jordan said isolation, which it absolutely is. Jordan added a couple more weird psychological, which I would agree with. They both said experiments. Heather said sense of dread and unknowing, which I would agree with. Both said genre blends, and Jordan said unexplained and ambiguous. Truly, those are like my top combination of everything that I have listed in here. But there's just something about it. I feel so removed from the story. I don't like that we are in this like person's head, and we're getting some other stuff too, but I really don't like it. I am not connected to a single thing. The characters just feel so removed for me because of the writing style, which is fine and is a choice, but it's not my preference. I don't know if I would read more from Stuart Turton. I like the first thing I read from him, and then the second one I read, I probably would give 1 star now, and this one is a DNF. But his concepts are always so good that I'm willing to give them a try. I'm really sad this one didn't work for me, but also I am glad that I didn't buy it the other day like I almost did. So that's good for me for being responsible for once. I'm really sad. I'm sorry to Jordan and Heather, but I feel like nothing
exciting was happening, and that could just be because I don't like the writing, so I didn't care what was going on. But I am going to DNF this one 100 pages in. So, we have one more book. I'm excited to get started on it. We are ending this video with Silver Elite. This just came out. It has taken BookTube, Bookstagram by storm, maybe Book Talk, but I am not there. I have an account, but like I don't even open TikTok. Cassidy recommended this one to me. She initially did recommend a different book, and then as soon as she read this one, she's like, I have a new pick for you. Which this one feels more like a her pick anyway. Cassidy gives me a lot of like specific recommendations for books that I should read. So high hopes for this one. I have the Book of the Month edition, which I'm very happy about. And I am 170 pages in, which is only a third in. This is significantly longer than books I typically gravitate towards. So in this we are following Wren Darlington, yes. And she lives with her pretty much adopted uncle. Something happened to her parents when she was younger, and they both died, and he was part of this rebellion with her parents and pretty much just jumped ship, deserted his post, I guess, and has left to take care of her. He is an enemy of the country. Oh god, because of abandoning where he was supposed to be. So both of them are living under false identities. This is set in a dystopian world where there was something that happened in the past, and now there are people that can be psychic and have these mind abilities, and they are sentenced to death. So Uncle Jim, which is weird to me considering I have an Uncle Jim, and it's just a really weird vibe. But he has been training her to hide her abilities and to grow them. While she was growing up, they lived on this ranch, and he is also teaching her ways to aid the rebellion when the time comes. Our main character happens to be one of the most powerful modified or mods in the country. So then this whole situation happens that leads her to have to be training to be a silver elite, which are people that hunt people like her. So it's pretty clear that she is going to fight this at first, but then take it as a way to kind of be on the inside and help the rebellion. She's not specifically part of it. They have proven to her that they don't find her as useful or care about her as much as they probably should. I don't think they know the extent of her powers, but they are slowly being shown to us, and the synopsis mentions it. But being in this training for the Silver Elite is very dangerous. There are people there, obviously, who are experts in hunting people like her. There are people there that are training to do this, and she has to keep her defenses up at all times. Literally one single tiny slip up could cost her everything. And then there is this romance that happens between the commanding officer, yes, Cross Redden. It's a very forbidden love kind of thing where he's hunting her kind and she is the hunted. It's a little similar in vibes to the dynamics in Heartless Hunter. So if you like that, you might like this. I am very much enjoying this. I flew through 170 pages of this without even really realizing. The thing is, it's one that's so fast-paced and fun and easy to get through. And I'm pretty invested in what's going on. Like, I'm excited to pick this up again and continue reading when I go lay in bed. But there's something about it that I'm not fully obsessed with. But I can't quite put my finger on it because I'm also really enjoying it. So it might be one that the more that it goes on, the more I become invested, and I could end up like truly loving this. But I'm having a fun time with it. I love dystopian books. I like the training stuff, which is in things like The Hunger Games, Divergent, which this is compared to both of them, but a lot of people are saying more so Divergent, which I would agree with because she's in the whole like Dauntless thing with training to fight and all of this. There's those things happening in here. It is fun to watch her train to like get into people's minds when she has done the opposite training her whole life. So watching her like figuring that out. I'm enjoying. I think I do like books where there's like some sort of training aspect in it, because that's been in a couple of things that I have enjoyed. I like watching people learn new skills, so it's fun. It's really fun. Normally I take my glasses off when I'm facing a window, but it is what it is. So I have not made it far enough into Silver Elite to give you an update. I'm 45% in, but it's long, so I'm hoping to read more of that later. I've been editing this morning, getting this vlog up to date, and I wanted to give you an update because the last 2 things that I read, I didn't tell you anything about Escape. So when I finished Servant of Earth, we had switched teams. So I am currently reading against the podcasters and for the mediums. So I did log Servant of Earth for both of those things. And then my DNF also went to pages for them. So not a super exciting update, but also I got some stuff in the mail that I want to show you. I got another package for my birthday. Also, I was correct. The last book, how am I supposed to open this? Was from Mel. It just, the writing seemed like her, but I didn't want to say that it was her. And then if it wasn't, it'd be weird. But I know who this one is from, even if it's not listed, because she messaged me. So I got Morsels by Abe Moss, which I'm super excited to have a copy of this one. This is one that I haven't really seen a lot of people talk about. I read it randomly because I found it on Kindle Unlimited for a video. So I'm really, really happy to have a copy of this. It's weird. I would say it's a genre blend, but I don't want to say too much about that. Okay, Court did write her name. Thank you so much to Court, who recently started a channel, which I will have linked in the description, but she's part of my Patreon and I've really enjoyed getting to know her recently. And I also got something from Tango because I had money from selling things on there, and I've been wanting to get a copy of this book. So I've just been watching, and there was one for a decent price for the hardcover. So I now have a copy of Bloom by Delilah S. Dawson, which is in my top 10 of the year. It really, really surprised me that I ended up loving this one. I read it for a Booktuber favorites video that I can link for you. So that's my little haul. I'm gonna get back to reading. I just ate lunch. Sprints are about to wrap up. I slept horribly, so I might take a nap and then read some of Silver Elite. I wanted to finish it today, but I don't know if I can because it's so long and I'm only halfway in. Not even halfway. But like I'm really enjoying it. I just truly wanted this video to be done before this point. So I'm like, okay, let's get it done, but I can only go so fast. I knew it. I am further in than I was anticipating. Also, I just got a shower, so like it's fine. The lighting in here is not good, but I'm reading my book in bed and it is what it is. I'm really far into this. The audiobook says that I am 82% in. It's 418 pages. I wasn't going to talk to you until I finished because I was too invested in reading. I was laying in bed and I was like, I just want to keep reading. I don't want to go upstairs, get my camera, talk to you all, because I just wanted to be in this story. And I've had this suspicion this whole time. I was like, it is this. It's absolutely this. And I was right, and I feel so good about myself because I'm not usually somebody that sits and like theorizes, especially with things like thrillers, which I read a lot of. I don't turn my brain off because like how you have to like think to process and stuff, but I'm not trying to like put the pieces together as I read. And this one just kind of like came to me. Honestly, I thought it was pretty obvious the whole time because like why else would this thing be happening? But I'm still excited about it. Okay, what can I say about this book? It feels so much like Divergent, like Triss and training to be dauntless. Like that's what it feels like to me, which leads this book to feel very nostalgic. I think that in terms of like YA dystopian, this is not YA, but it's like those vibes with a lot of adult dystopian stuff. I feel like it feels very dry. I've read a decent amount because The Hunger Games is one of my favorite things. I loved Divergent. I loved these kinds of stories, and I haven't been able to really find that feeling within dystopian books as an adult because I feel like a lot of it is very much slow paced and it's just not what I want it to be. And this is very fast paced. We are getting the training. I'm enjoying learning more about this dystopian world and what caused these characters to be in this situation. I do wish we got a little bit more of it, but I'm very intrigued by the setup of everything. Like these different like mind powers that characters can have. There's different versions of it. There's empathy and I think they're called insiders, where you can like force people to do things. Is there telekinesis? I don't know. But that kind of magic is very, very cool. This is dealing with an oppressive government, and I think it doesn't go quite as deep as I want it to, but we are seeing our main character struggling with being in this situation and trying to help her people because she is a psychic. I really like people being able to like talk to each other in their minds. That's been really fun to read. I'm really, really liking everything about this. I do think it's a little long, but at the same time, I am flying through it. I literally wasn't going to get up so that I could talk to you because I'm like, I want to keep reading. And I'm enjoying the moments between the characters too. I am liking watching her form these friendships and also struggling with things because of it. It feels like there's more depth to everything because of that. And I just generally like more characters in romantasy in general. It's kind of like Fourth Wing vibes with that cast of characters. I don't think they're as good. I feel like the ones in Fourth Wing kind of like get you more invested in them. So I do wish we got more side character development, but I'm enjoying seeing the banter and the relationship forming between our main character and the love interest. It is just in her point of view the whole time. Sorry, I'm not holding the book up. I put this very thick like nighttime moisturizer on, and I'm really bad at touching my face, so I don't want to just get it all over the book. But yeah, I'm having a really good time with it. I think that there's been some good moments of tension. There's been some interesting things within the like mind psychic stuff. I do want more of that because it's really, really cool. But we are starting to get more backstory and learn some very exciting things. It all makes sense. I'm not like shocked by anything. Like I just told you, I guessed something. But seeing how our main character is discovering that, I've been enjoying. So, good times here. It might be the nostalgia helping, but like, could this be 5 stars? Maybe. I have finished Silver Elite. I think that this was such a nostalgic feeling read for me. It really, really reminds me of the kind of dystopian of The Hunger Games, of Divergent. The plot itself feels more like Divergent, which really worked for me. I found myself so invested in what was going on. I found myself entertained. I liked the discussions it was having. The conversation on government and people not being able to exist and being oppressed because they are different is such a relevant topic, really at all times, but I feel like now too. I really liked it. This, okay, I'm gonna give it 5 stars. I feel like I've been kind of not unsure about my ratings, but I feel like I've been really weirdly picky about my 5 stars recently, and I used to not be. I have been kind of not saving them, which some people do this and that's totally fine, but like I feel like I've been not giving books 5 stars like for no real reason. So I'm gonna give this one 5 stars. It's not going to be my favorite book of the year, but it doesn't have to be. There's 5 stars that are all-time favorites and 5 stars that are just 5 stars. I don't think that this is like the best thing in the world, but I never claim that any of my 5 stars really are. If I was entertained, if I flew through it, if I had a really good time, if I didn't want to put the book down, that's a 5-star read to me. So that is what this is getting. I liked the stuff that happened at the end. I'm like, oh, I need to read the next one. And I'm not a series reader. I have found that with a lot of series, I'm like, I could be done. I don't need any more of this world, these characters, like anything like that. But it just, I don't know, just really worked for me. I do think that the side characters, I could have used a little bit more from them because there's some little like reveals, I guess, that I wasn't impacted as much by because I feel like I didn't care about the characters quite as much, but I really liked it. I really did. I'm glad I got this copy for Book of the Month because I like this more than the first edition. And then with the things that this fits for that I asked, it like kind of fits a little bit with Isolation because of the like training setting, but not really. It's definitely fast paced. There are some sarcastic characters. This is a genre blend. It's definitely romance and some like fantasy, I guess, because of the magic that people have with their like mind stuff, but it's also very dystopian, which to me is a sci-fi. There's a bigger cast of characters. It's not like a dark book, but there's darker themes in it, which tends to be the case for dystopian books. I am really excited to continue in this series. It just came out, so like sucks for me, but I liked the world. I liked having this dystopian fast-paced setting, and I'm really intrigued by the magic system that is in here. Not really a system, but like, I don't know, I really, really like that. I had a great time, really a lot of fun. So that wraps up this video. I had 7 books recommended to me by 8 different booktubers with a very mixed result. I'm counting this video as a win because I definitely think I found one of my favorite books of the year in it. Even though we had 2 DNFs, both for the writing style specifically. A 2-star, didn't like the characters. A 3-star that got better as it went. A 4-star that kind of surprised me. And then 2 5-stars, possibly a favorite of the year and one that I had so much fun with and felt very nostalgic to me. I will have Alexis, Tori, Steph, Mel, Jesse, Jordan, Heather, and Cassidy all linked in the description for you. Thank you so much to all of them for recommending me books that they thought I would like. I had so much fun doing this video. If you want to see the one that I did last year, which I also ended up with a favorite book of the year, I will have that linked in the description for you. I will be logging this for the mediums for their current game and against the podcasters also for their current game. It's almost the end of the month, but it's actually not too late to join Escape the Readathon. If you want, you can backlog everything you read and give your team a very nice boost. So that will be linked in the description for you as well. If you've made it to the end and want to leave me an emoji to say you are here, you can leave me, is there like a clipboard or a checklist or something like that, a check mark. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope to see you very soon. Bye.